Hey guys, Thogden here, and welcome to the final 4 weeks of the Premier League. We still need to decide the 3 teams getting relegated. Who's going to win the Premier League? Is it over yet? We'll discuss that today. And a professional footballer that we have on as a guest. I'm not going to say who. Stay tuned. How you feeling, Thogden?
Hey, not too bad. I got a smile on my boat race.
You got a fresh trim, so do I. We're looking fresh.
Touch the hair, Theo. Touch the hair. That's right. Ask me what the scores are, Theo.
I'll ask you what the scores are after you smash the like button. I've got a reason today, actually. I've been fighting off a cold. You know, I've been downhill. I've not been doing much for a few days. You took over the channel, did some non-league content. You got attacked. He came back from it. So if you could smash the like button, one prayer for Thogden's comeback.
You know what? You asked about the score, so I'll tell you. You got 10 points, double figures. Let's give Theo a little clap. Everyone give it a little clap.
But you said my name first, which means you got more points.
Which means that Big Steve got 15 points. And by the way, thank you for this incredible...
That's his brand.
That's his brand. Thogden 18 points.
That means there's 10 points in it now. You could still beat me.
Scores are on the doors. I can still beat you. 4 weeks to go.
I'm not letting it happen. Let's get into this.
Bournemouth against Chelsea, 13th against 12th. It's a mid-table clash between a form team and Chelsea.
This is 2 teams on 39 points. The only way either of these sides now get relegated is if Forest and one other club go on perfect form till the end. It's not happening, okay?
We've got to give more respect to the name AFC Bournemouth.
Yeah, we do.
Because we did not see this coming. They've won 4 of the last 5 games. Nobody saw that. But Chelsea, Theo, it's embarrassing. It's woeful. You've spent €1 billion on your squad.
I think the players are not caring until a proper manager comes in. If Todd Bowley does the one thing, the one right appointment, a manager with a long-term project who understands some of the players, maybe knows them from a previous job, and someone who's just got experience of turning things round. What Lampard's leaving them is what's going to be 007, I call it. 0 wins, 0 draws, 7 losses. If they lose to Bournemouth, that's embarrassing.
Who's advising these people? One of them thinks, let's bring in Frank Lampard. Who's advising them?
That was just a quick appointment. You know, you call the first person in your phone book, you get it done, club legend, brings fans to the ground. That's it. No football brains behind this.
I think Bournemouth are going to win this.
Bournemouth
2, Chelsea 1. Who would have thought we'd have said that a few months ago?
The odds actually still favour Chelsea.
Yeah.
The likes of Dominic Solanke will be licking their lips. I think 2-1 is a good prediction, so I agree with you, Thogden. Solanke to score. Our guest this week is very special. Jake Turner, currently at Gillingham, but from the Bolton Academy, and even played for the seniors between 2017 and 2019. And exactly 5 years ago, I went into training with Bolton Wanderers, and he was doing the goalkeeper lessons with me. Now, ever since then, he's played at all sorts of clubs. Morecambe, did a stint at Newcastle in the Premier League, and now plays at Gillingham. Let's bring him on.
Bournemouth v Chelsea, I think it's going to be 1-1. Bournemouth have actually won the last 2, got a little bit of momentum, doing really well under Gary O'Neill.
Wow, what a legend that man is. Can't believe you got him on, Theo. But anyway, Manchester City in first place against Leeds United in 17th. It's White Rose against Red Rose. You were born in Yorkshire, I was born in Lancashire. First of all, Haaland, 35 goals. It's his first season in the Premier League. He's beaten Alan Shearer, he's beaten Andrew Cole.
You know I'm going to say it, Rory Jennings, what you doing, mate? I backed him from day one. I watched Haaland back at Dortmund. I supported him coming to England. I knew it'd be the right move. He smashed it. Everyone says he's a tapping merchant, the people that do hate him, the minority. And then he goes and chips and scores a lovely 35th goal. He proves everyone wrong every single week. Love the guy, but Big Sam.
Yes,
he is the problem. You're coming up against Leeds at a very odd time. Yes, they've been on terrible form, sitting on 30 points. They've got a high chance of getting relegated. Now, let's talk about Big Sam. You made a video on him personally.
Yeah, and here's a plug. Thogden Reacts. We've got a second channel
where we sit down and talk about different football topics. It's really good. We go into detail. Smash the subscribe on the second channel. I'll leave it in the first link in the description. Now, let's be serious. He's a good manager. Is he outdated? Hard to go to the hardest league in the world and turn up against City away. City away is the hardest fixture known to man.
Forget Pep Guardiola, forget Klopp, forget Arteta. Big Sam is their equal.
That's what Big Sam said.
I know he did, and
he
love
said,
that.
In football terms, he was better. Managers like Pep will now be a little bit, frustrated. They've got that in the back of their mind. He's gone into an interview and spoken directly about them and compared them.
Now, I loved him as a player, as a centre-back. I loved him as a manager. I think he's really underrated. People think he's a long ball merchant. Nonsense. He is one of the most modern managers in the game. He was a pioneer of using data, statistics, technology. Theo, he's a great manager, but you don't bring him in with 4 games to go. He's got to sort out the defence within hours, within days, hasn't he?
He's got no... I mean, most managers need a whole pre-season to get the right tactics in. He has no time.
Sammy Lee, you know what?
Sammy Lee.
He's on jury duty.
He's on jury duty.
And the judge won't let him off.
The judge won't let him off. That's a disgrace. You got Leeds to stay up in the survival race. What are you doing, you judge?
If you're the judge, give your head a wobble right now.
Thogdad was allowed off to go on holiday. That is a fact.
Business trip.
Business trip. I think City are going to rotate because they've got Champions League coming up on Tuesday night away at Madrid. Their minds will be on that. Let's be honest, it's a semi-final. I think they're going to lose 1-0. Big Sam masterclass.
I'm going to go 3-1 to Man City.
Well, it's Lancashire versus Yorkshire. It should be a cricket score, Thogdad. I'm joking. I agree with you. They're going to win. 2 goals. I think City 2, Leeds 0.
I think City are too good, man. Obviously, it's Big Sam's first game. You look for a reaction from them, but yeah, I think City will win that one 4-1.
Wolverhampton Wanderers against Aston Villa. It's 14th against 8th. It's a tasty Midlands derby between 2 teams who lost last week. Starting with Wolves, smashed against Brighton, and defensively woeful, Theo.
This is one of those games where how can you go from winning at home regularly to going to Brighton and losing 6-0? And they've rotated. Undav scored a couple.
You lose 6-0, you forget it. The next day, you forget it, you move on, you win the next one 1-0.
Never easy going to Wolves. We've seen how good they are at home.
Proper tasty. The home fans will be up for it. And because of all that, I've kind of given it away. 1-0 Wolves.
1-0 Wolves?
Yes.
You've written off Villa.
Bounce back.
But it's 8th against 14th. There's a reason for that. You are a teapot. I'm going 1-1.
Oh, but more importantly, over to Jake Turner.
I've actually gone 2-1 to Villa. Wolves, obviously, they need a reaction after the 6-0 defeat. But Villa are looking good, man, especially away from home.
Tottenham Hotspur against Crystal Palace, another London derby, 7th against 11th. And thank you to both of these teams for entertaining me last week. Both involved in 4-3
Crazy.
games. Spurs, how crazy was that? 3-0 down in 15 minutes. They bring it back and they give it away.
Spurs are showing good amounts of quality, though. Liverpool away is one of the hardest fixtures in the Premier League. Everyone's writing them off. Yes, they have a problem. I don't think Ryan Mason has sorted out that defensive issue. They've gone from conceding 6 goals to 2 goals to 4 goals. Yeah, not a great average.
I was with a Spurs fan last night in the pub and he's like, "Oh, Thogdad, wasn't our comeback great?" I said, "Mate, you were 3-0 down after 15 minutes. I'm talking about the comeback. You lost."
It's such a silly goal to give away as well. It's like Lucas Moura passes it backwards to Diogo Jota, who's just waiting there. You just think, what are you doing? It's hard to call because Palace have scored 4 goals against West Ham in their last game. Roy Hodgson's got them more positive than ever.
It's brilliant to see how attacking they are, and players like Schlupp and Eze and Elise and Sahar, brilliant to watch as a neutral.
I'm actually taking out Matoma, who's playing Everton at home, and bringing in Elise, who's playing Spurs away. Because playing Spurs right now, they concede an average of 3 or 4 goals.
This will be an exciting game. I'm going to go Spurs 2, Crystal Palace 1.
I'm going to go a bit more spicy. Based off the form, Spurs 3, Palace 2. 5-goal thriller. If I get it right, get that extra bonus point.
I've actually gone for 1-0 to Spurs. They're not winning 4 games, but they're desperate for a win. They're trying to cement themselves in the top 4 finish. So yeah, they really need a win.
Liverpool against Brentford. It's 5th against 9th. It's 2 teams on winning form. Liverpool last game week, 2 games, 2 wins. They're coming good right at the end.
I don't see how Liverpool can finish top 4. People need to stop talking about this. It's not going to happen.
If Man United really fall away, which might happen, I don't think they've been great recently. It might just happen.
If United consistently lose, yes, but the gap is too much now. I think that 5th place is pretty much bang on for them. Europa League football, Anfield next year.
Yeah, but Salah is starting to score goals, and he's starting to score from the penalty spot, which was a worry for a while. But Brentford, Theo, let's not write them off. They're a difficult team to play. They get a lot of draws away from home. Against Nottingham Forest, they left it late, didn't they?
But Liverpool away, even right now, is one of the hardest fixtures in the league. I don't think Brentford will come away with any points this time round. I'm actually going to say Liverpool 3, Brentford 1.
That's a big shout, but I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Brentford 1, so a little bit closer. And a shout out to Ivan Toney, 20 goals this season.
And a shout out to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's turned it around this time, and he's just playing brilliant. I think he'll be man of the match.
How about this? Next season, Trent moves into midfield and Connor Bradley is right back.
I'd love that.
I think Liverpool will win 3-2. They've actually not lost in the last 7 games. Obviously, it's not been that convincing, apart from the one against Leeds.
Newcastle United against Arsenal, 3rd against 2nd. It's the game of the weekend, and both teams won 3-1 last week, didn't they, Theo? Newcastle smashed Southampton, and they went a goal down, but they were the better team.
They're not just winning games, they're smashing teams out. They need to get another 3 points to guarantee that the top 4 stays the same.
Callum Wilson has had a wonderful season. A lot of Newcastle fans and others thought maybe it's time to upgrade on that striker. leader, but Callum Wilson will get you goals.
They understand each other to a different grade. I mean, the way they ran Everton apart a few weeks ago, and then Spurs, 6 goals, 5 and 21, it's a joke.
Arsenal, it was a banana skin against Chelsea, wasn't it? But Ødegaard stepped up to the plate and they won that comfortably.
They did, but beating Chelsea right now doesn't say much. And we can't ignore that Arsenal's form before that Chelsea game was poor. However, I don't think they'll get a result. I'm going to go different here. I don't think you'll go for the same, but I'm going to say Newcastle 2. Arsenal 1, St James's Park, rocking.
Do you know what, Theo? That is very sensible. A little bit brave because it's against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I can't see Arsenal winning this, and I don't know why I say that. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, 2-2 draw was also something I was thinking of.
It's obviously a tough place for Arsenal to go. Trying to keep the pressure on City. Newcastle obviously won that Champions League space. I've actually gone for a 2-2. Both teams need to win to keep the pressure on.
West Ham United against Manchester United, 15th against 4th. Now, West Ham lost twice last game week, Theo. 4 points above the relegation zone. Should be enough, shouldn't it?
They need a few more points on board, don't they? David Moyes needs to be careful here. Going back to Olympic Stadium against a tired United. Distractions with cup games still going on. They played a lot of fixtures. Just unfortunately conceded to Brighton last kick of the game, penalty. Bit of revenge after what happened a few years ago when United had that VAR moment after full time.
It's a tough place for Man United to go. A win here for West Ham,
massive.
That is safety, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the players will be looking to this fixture knowing that if they can get a win or a draw, they're safe. I think United will know a draw is somewhat enough to guarantee top 4 if they continue their form with their fixture list ahead.
Yes.
I'm going to go 1-1, straight to it.
Do you know what? I think Liverpool are playing better football than Man United at the moment. I think they'll close the gap but not get in the top 4. And I agree with you. This is a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, it's got a draw written all over it. But let's see if we go for a 3 prediction of draws. Jake, what do you reckon?
I've gone for 1-0 to United. To be fair, not much to say on that one. West Ham obviously a bit of out of form. 3 losses in a row. United, to be fair, they do know how to win a game when needed.
Fulham against Leicester City. It's 10th against 16th. This is a game with massive significance to the relegation fight,
isn't
it, Theo?
For
Leicester,
Fulham.
Mitrovic has got to miss another game, then he's back. But let's talk about Leicester, because you were there, Theo, for that game with Everton.
And they weren't that good. How at home can you not beat Everton? They had to have won that game.
Yes.
And Maddison had the penalty, which he missed. He took it off Tielemans as well. So if you're going to take the ball off a player who's going to take the pen, you better flip and score it. And he bottled that. Quite frankly, Fulham, mid-table, Mitro's out, not much to play for. I'm going to go and say Leicester are going to win this 2-1.
Yeah, I watched that Leicester-Everton game on TV. I thought it was fantastic. That was a brilliant game for the neutral. 38 shots on goal.
Incredible.
Iverson, the goalkeeper for Leicester, made some incredible saves.
Both teams had an XG over 3.
Yes.
Could have been either way. DCL should have scored more. Iwobi should have taken more chance. Everyone should. It could have been a flipping 5-5 if you wanted it to be. Great game as a neutral.
But I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be a really good game of football.
So I've gone 2-1 to Leicester. Fulham have been class all year. A few people thought they would go straight down, but to be fair, I thought they looked very good in the Championship last year. I thought they'd do well. Probably not as well as they have done.
Brighton and Hove Albion in 6th against Everton in 19th. So you've got a team pushing for Europe against a team trying to survive in the Premier League.
So different from a few years ago. These two teams at one point would have been placed around the same position in the Premier League table.
Brighton won twice last game week. The first one was a 6-0. And Undav, you've been talking about him for about 2 years. He's now scoring goals.
He's now scoring goals. He's finally doing what I told him to do. Of course, they've got a European push.
Yeah.
The way they played against United, they deserved to beat them. They got revenge from the Wembley match. You saw United fans saying, "Que sera, we're going to Wembley," because they're going to the final, knocked them out. But Brighton had the final laugh. Alexis McAllister, ice cold. The finish, the moment, the referee blew for full time, then they checked VAR, gave him the penalty, so they knew it was the final kick of the game. He blew the whistle.
Yeah.
And then McAllister did this incredible thing. He took his time.
Yes.
He thought exactly where he's going to stick that ball. He positioned that foot perfectly to fill it in the top left corner. Limbs in Brighton Stadium. United fans disappeared. Carnage. Everton need the points more than ever, and I watched them against Leicester. They really are fighters, and with DCL back, they're a threat again.
I think so, Theo. This could be a real surprise because Everton were good against Leicester. Like you said, 23 shots on target. Now, remember, Everton are the lowest scoring team in the division. But when you get this late in the season, weird things happen, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And I just feel like Brighton will draw to Everton. 1-1. I know it's mad, but I know one is fighting in a relegation battle. Sean Dyche will go there and grab a point.
But I'm going to go with Brighton I'm going to go with 2-1 to Brighton.
Brighton-Everton, like I say, Everton as well in that game looked good, but I think Brighton just have too much for them, to be fair. They've shown this year how good of a team they are.
And finally, Nottingham Forest in 18th against Southampton in 20th. This is the biggest relegation dogfight of the weekend, the biggest game of the week.
Let's be honest, this game relegates Southampton. This is the match. If Forest win, they're down.
Start with Southampton. They have to win probably 3 or 4 of the last 4 games to stay up.
It's almost impossible now, I don't think.
Nottingham Forest 1 win in the last 5. They were 1-0 up against Brentford after 82 minutes and they bottled it, didn't they?
I've got to say, like, Southampton are going to lose a lot of their squad. There's so many exciting prospects. You've got Lavia. This is why I think Southampton will be financially okay.
Yeah.
Because they've got so many exciting youth players that people will pay good money for. Their best player, Ward-Prowse, is gone.
Yes.
Who's going to buy Ward-Prowse? That'll be an interesting one. Maybe Liverpool. Then we've got Lavia, who's just really exciting talent. Bazunu, young goalkeeper, Premier League experience. I can't see him dropping down to the Championship. There's many players in there that people will be having an eye on. I'm teeing myself up to admit my prediction is Forest 1-0.
Yeah.
Forest's home form overall this season has kept them up, and I think they've got one final go at it to just prove that they're going to survive and stay up in this Premier League season. Currently on 30 points. By the end of this bank holiday Monday, it's going to be 33. Southampton, you're relegated. Ruben Selles is picking up the scraps. I hope they keep him for the Championship season, though, because I've got a feeling he'll turn it around.
Yeah, Southampton fans, book your train tickets to Plymouth because that's who you play next season.
And Bolton next season, yeah.
Fingers crossed,
playoffs.
25% chance. But you know what? I agree with you. Nottingham Forest 1, Southampton 0. This is an enormous game for the relegation.
When the Saints go marching to Plymouth.
Yeah, let's not rub it in.
Finally, Forest v Southampton. I've gone 1-0 to Forest. Both teams struggling yet, but I just think Forest might have a little bit more for them, especially at home. So yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you for watching this video. What a guest,
what a legend
of the game.
We had a kick around with him once, didn't we?
And on that note, I'm still fighting my cold, so every like means the world. Please subscribe. Thogden Reacts 2. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.